Alright, this is going to be the special move breakdown. So Urian has a few special moves. He has Sphere. So Sphere goes with jab straight. Medium Sphere. Fierce Sphere. I would opt to use Fierce Sphere the most out of all three of them. Then Medium Sphere. Then Jab Sphere. Jab Spheres are very slow. People are pretty easily able to jump over it and do big major punishes. This is not Street Fighter 2 where, you're not Remy, so you don't really have fantastic sphere game. It's good against maybe Hugo, maybe like Q and Necro. But it's not even that good. It's not that great. Medium Sphere still recovers pretty slowly. You'll get punished on the ground a lot if you abuse it a lot. It's also not that hard of a parry. This is the good one, because this one comes out really fast, and you'll catch people before they even really recognize it. So that's the strongest one. He also has EX Sphere. So let's put some meter on so we can show you this absolutely terrible move. Not a good move. Use it essentially never. The only time I could ever see myself using it would be like if he's under like this kind of pressure. I just, to chip him out or something. I mean, it's very, very weak and should be completely ignored. Urian has a lot of moves, but it's cool because you can ignore a lot of them. Like, just never do that move. It just doesn't exist. Serves no function. Never do it. He also has knee drop. He has light kick knee drop, medium knee drop, roundhouse knee drop, and EX knee drop. Knee drops are a pretty misunderstood move. The way that I feel they're most effective is as a corner escape, where you do a knee drop, and then you dash or jump away. But they're not particularly good against tall characters like Goki's average height, but if Goki's standing here, he'll block that and punish it really, really hard. It's an easy parry. It's not particularly good. It does serve function in unblockables as a corpse carry. So you will see knee drop used in specific unblockables. It's also good to get across. So I wasn't fast enough, but could have stunned him, I think, but it's good for getting across. So there's the headbutt knee drop, unblockable, and that's done with roundhouse knee drop. Knee drop is a very, very hard move to use correctly. You can actually space it where it's safe. So if it's done like here, that's very unsafe. It's like a dive kick. So like if you hit him low, let's see, maybe this spacing would work. No, it's too high. Maybe this spacing like that. Yeah. So if you hit him low enough, I think this should be good. Yeah. If you hit him low enough on the ankles, I think let's go with that. Yeah. It's pretty good. You can space it in a way where it's actually safe on block. It's just really, really hard to do. I played against a Japanese Urian years ago on Xbox OE. It was like 270 ping or something crazy. And he was amazing. And he used a lot of knee drop. But he did it in a way where it was like perfectly spaced. And it was sick. But you're not that Japanese Urian, and neither am I. So don't use knee drop often, if at all, outside of specific unblockable setups and corner escapes. There is some mix-up that I've seen RX use where instead of doing like the roundhouse out, he'll do like a short knee drop to like catch the jump back or something. I don't know the specifics of it, but I don't do it. I don't understand it fully, and it seems risky. If you look at like my percentage of knee drops landed, like if you think about the total health that every knee drop I've ever done in my life has taken from my opponent, and occasionally they land and they do a nice little chunk of damage. They're pretty hard to quick rise. If you look at the total health that I've taken from every knee drop I've ever done in my life and compare it to the amount of health that I've lost on block and parry, it's got to be 50 times as much health I've lost compared to how much I've gained. So not a huge fan of it outside of very specific situations. Like, look at that. I thought I would get over there. So it's got to be like point blank, and you've got to really get out of there once you land. Can be useful, like RX does it in this charge partition here, to get out of the corner. So that's pretty sick. EX knee drop, essentially never. There's one thing that it does that's kind of cool. A lot of people don't know about this, but you can catch it one hit out of the air into tackle. So, I mean, I've won games like it because I'm just desperate and I'm like, oh, I gotta get it. But don't do that. It's a terrible move. So that covers sphere and knee drop, the two kind of like average moves. Then you have tackle, light kick, medium kick, roundhouse, and EX. So if we go full screen, we can see that they actually go different distances. Two buttons together is an EX, in case you were wondering. Light kick, medium kick, roundhouse. Oh my god, EX. So they all have different properties and speed, and they actually look similar. Light kick and medium kick look similar. Roundhouse, he turns his back. That's how you can tell the difference. And then EX, obviously, I have to check my buttons. He becomes a yellow monster. They have different properties on block. The safest is a max range light kick tackle. So if you're able to hit max range, that is the safest of the tackles that you can do. The next safest would be a max range medium kick tackle. Roundhouse will always be unsafe, very unsafe, and EX is quite unsafe on block. Sometimes an awkward punish, but absolutely unsafe on block. If you're going to use tackle, you want to max range it, and then of course I have an entire video on tackling the Aegis pressure, but you can cancel it into Aegis, all three strengths, or all four strengths. Go into jab Aegis, which is useful in the corner. So you go into jab Aegis into a 50-50. If it hits, you go into a roundhouse tackle into a launcher. Like that. You have tackle medium Aegis, which can be canceled early or late. See how it's a different release point? It's kind of subtle, but there's that. And then there's that. And then there is, oh, I'm so bad at this. A little bit later. Better on this side. Well, not much better. So that would be a little bit later. There we go. So you can cancel it in different timings. And then there's Fierce Aegis. So it's also EX Aegis. So you have these different ways that you can use tackles to create offense. Tackle is not a great move in and of itself to just do, but there are certain matchups like Dudley and maybe Ibuki, Elena, where their punishes are not either easy to do or that strong, so it is useful. Oh yeah, Sphere also goes into Aegis setups, so Jab Sphere is good off of block strings to add an extra layer like that. You can also do like Medium Sphere if you want to keep the corner. You can go Fierce Sphere into Medium Aegis, or you can go Medium Sphere into Aegis to try to catch the angle of their jump out instead. Because like if you're always doing Jab Sphere and they jump, it's a lot harder for them to jump out if you're doing a cancel like that. Because you control a much larger portion of the screen, where this really only covers the horizontal space. That covers more of a vertical and a horizontal space. EX tackle, it's not used often. It's commonly used as like a chip out, but it's not the best chip out. Combos off of that. Combos off of that. You can actually do something kind of cool. Where you can get one more hit of EX Aegis afterwards. And that sometimes serves function in like the corner. You can try to create combos, and they're all character specific, and I actually don't know them on Goki. Medium Sphere is useful in combos like that. So the problem with launching Fireball Sphere is see how the sphere hits, because Goki's kind of fat. So if you do the Medium Sphere, it actually will not hit because there's that empty space. So that's good to know for Medium Sphere. Sphere is useful for like anti-air. Well, all of these moves are useful for anti-air. But I have a whole video on anti-air. But to layer your attacks with Sphere can be useful. Same with layering your attacks with Tackle. There's Headbutt. So there's Jab Headbutt, Medium Headbutt, Fierce Headbutt, and then EX Headbutt. So the strongest would be EX Headbutt. It goes into big juggles. It creates a lot of opportunity for unblockables and all types of combos and things like this. Jab Headbutt can be nice because it goes into that. Medium Headbutt can be useful as a wake-up option to kind of change the timing. I regularly wake up with Jab Headbutt, but waking up a Medium Headbutt, it goes a little bit further. Goes a little further than a Jab Headbutt would. Goki's got a big head. So, it's subtle differences. The timing of it is slightly different. You can go launcher into Jab Headbutt. You cannot go launcher into Medium Headbutt on most characters. You can go launcher into Fierce Headbutt on some characters, which is cool. Fierce Headbutt is the weakest of the headbutts. It serves minimal function. You know, there's not all that much you can do with a Fierce Headbutt. But like I said, Jab Headbutt does go into combos like this. Which is useful. I mean, you can also do it with Medium Headbutt. It's just you won't get it off crouch short with the combo still works. I wonder if you can get off Fierce. I don't think you can. I actually never tried. That's so annoying when you reset. You lose charge. Yeah, I don't think you can do it off Fierce. EX Headbutt works really nicely off of Stand Medium Punch. Dude, my fucking EXs. What is up with my EXs? Am I not doing the fucking EX right? So EX Headbutt is useful off of the launcher as well. EX Headbutt does not combo off of like crouch short. There are situations where it will combo off of a crouch jab. Come on. Or it will combo off of a crouch jab. If only you knew how angry I was. So it will combo like that. Headbutt is also somewhat useful for layering. Whether normal headbutt, EX headbutt. This can be useful off of launcher as anti-airs as well. I go into that more in depth in the anti-air video that I made. I think that's the general use of these moves. Those are all of the special moves to my knowledge. Sphere. Fierce Sphere is the best. Tackle. Max range light kick tackle is the safest. Full screen roundhouse tackle is very, very weak. Using EX tackle to chip is weak. Tackle goes into the various Aegises. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses. I go through that in a Tackle Aegis guide. There's knee drops, which are largely unsafe. They're most useful for corner escapes and for specific unblockables to corpse carry. EX knee drop is terrible. Jab headbutt is good. On wake up, it's good to get over low moves. You can do something like stand medium punch into jab headbutt, which if they parry the stand medium punch, the headbutt will go over the low move. So that can be useful against people who guess parry a lot. They try to guess parry into like low forward, shore you or something. You can do something along those lines. If I could actually fucking do it. These moves are also good off of partitions. So these are moves that you do partition. There's not too much need to do a knee drop partition, but it is that corner escape that I spoke about. I think that basically covers it. Jabs, the spheres cancel into Aegis quite nicely, which is useful in block strings like that, or block strings like this, or block strings like this. The sphere is like a nice added layer. You can change the sphere that you use to change the angle of protection. I think that's basically it. I made a whole video on it, but you can do tackles backwards. It's kind of cool. You can do a reverse tackle like that. Made a whole video on that if you want to learn how to do that. Basically the extent of the special moves, I think. I don't fucking know. Should be it. Guru meditation.